Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have reportedly agreed terms on a 10 million deal for Boubacar Kamara and will announce the signing in the coming days. Boubacar Kamara is set to become the first signing of the Ralph Rangnick era. Well, it said not so long ago from El Nacional that Boubacar Kamara is close to joining Manchester United, and Man United were in advanced talks. Kamara is predominantly a defensive midfielder. He's only the age of 22, so he's still very young. He's got a lot of development in him. Boubacar Kamara has been at Marseille all his life. He joined Marseille as a 5-year-old back in 2005. So he risen up their academy in that. He broke into Marseille's senior squad in 2016 and he's made over 100 appearances. His current contract at Marseille expires at the end of the season. Now I'm hearing that Manchester United have entered the race for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic from Lazio. He has a £17 million release clause. Amadou Haidara has also been linked with Manchester United. Well, earlier on in the season, Ralph Rangnick said that he wants Amadou Haidara as his first signing as Manchester United manager. Rangnick knows the player well because Rangnick used to manage RB Leipzig. Amadou Haidara has a £33 million release clause. Amadou Haidara has already admitted that he's a Manchester United fan, and Haidara also mentioned that he's a Cristiano Ronaldo fan. He's got a contract with Leipzig until 2025. Revert back to the other week, Frankie de Jong was also mentioned, but I disregarded Frankie de Jong coming to Manchester United because not so long ago Fabrizio Romano provided us with an update and he said Manchester United have not yet held any talks with Frankie de Jong. And the other week Frankie de Jong's father did admit that Man United have a disadvantage in the transfer pursuit. He's at Barcelona, Frankie de Jong. Barcelona got him from Ajax back in 2019 for £65 million. Manchester United have also been in for Calvin Phillips and Jude Bellingham. Revert back to the other week. He said Manchester United were in for Antonio Rudiger from Chelsea. I said Rangnick's could be an important factor in Man United's chances of signing Antonio Rudiger, because Rangnick knows Rudiger's agent and brother very well. The other week, Rudiger reportedly rejected a contract extension offer at Chelsea. His current contract at Chelsea expires at the end of the season. I'd certainly take Rudiger at Man United. You know, Rudiger and Varane would complement each other very well in our back line. Chelsea got Rudiger from Roma back in 2017 for around £29 million. Manchester United have done transfer business with Chelsea before because Man United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017. And Man United also got Juan Mata from Chelsea back in 2014. John McGinn, he was also mentioned a couple of weeks ago. And Man United are obviously in for Erling Haaland from Borussia Dortmund. The other week, Bild said that Manchester United are currently only the serious bidder for Erling Haaland, but will have to qualify for the Champions League to get Haaland. Now, Rangnick needs to heavily invest if he is to succeed as Manchester United manager. Now, Rangnick has been given a £100 million transfer budget for January. He can get quite a few players out of that. Rangnick has enjoyed a good start to his managerial career at Manchester United. So far, he's unbeaten. Reflecting on the win against Norwich, that was back-to-back wins in the Premier League for Rangnick. You know, Ralph Rangnick is Manchester United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did mention after that Rangnick will take a consultancy role for a further 2 years. If Rangnick does well as the interim manager for Man United, there's a chance he'll get the Man United job on a permanent basis. Before Manchester United, he was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. Next year, Rangnick will be focusing on the outgoings as well as the incomings. You know, quite a few players are going to depart Manchester United next year. Obviously, you know the news on Anthony Martial. The other week, Anthony Martial's agent confirmed that Anthony Martial wants to leave Manchester United in January. Manchester United have set a 30 million asking price on Martial. Quite a few clubs are in for him. I've heard that Arsenal are interested in him. Not so long ago it said Atletico Madrid are planning a swap deal. Juventus also want him on loan. Barcelona have been in for him. And recently it said Newcastle want Anthony Martial on loan. It said Newcastle are ready to pay a £6 million loan fee to sign Martial. Not so long ago, Rangnick revealed that he'd not spoken with Martial. Rangnick told Martial to speak to him directly if he wants to leave the club. Martial's demanding more game time. He's getting nowhere near enough game time at Man United. Martial's got an injury at the moment. He's been at Manchester United for 6.5 years. He's got a contract with the club till 2024. Martial scored 79 goals in 268 appearances in all competitions. Man United paid an initial fee of 36 million for Martial back in 2015 from Monaco. Martial was pretty good last season, but the best season he's enjoyed was his debut season under Louis van Gaal. You know the news on Cavani. Cavani could stay at Manchester United until the summer. Because Cavani to Barcelona has now cooled. He did recently say that Edison Cavani has agreed to join Barcelona on an 18-month contract. But it did say that Man United are reluctant to let Edinson Cavani leave on a free transfer in January. Obviously, Barcelona has seen Edinson Cavani as a replacement for Aguero, because Aguero recently retired due to heart problems. Cavani recently rejected Boca Juniors, and Juventus have also been in for Cavani. Cavani's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Cavani's got an injury at the moment, but he is close to returning. He had an injury earlier on in the season. Cavani initially lost his place in the team with the club re-signing Ronaldo last summer. Man United got Cavani on a free transfer from PSG back in the summer of 2020. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. Look at the amount of silverware he won when he was at PSG. He was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG. Jesse Lingard, he's set to stay at Manchester United for the remainder of the season to fight for his place under Ralph Rangnick. Manchester United did set a 20 million asking price on Jesse Lingard for him to leave next month. Newcastle are no longer in for Lingard. He said earlier on in the season that West Ham wanted to re-sign Lingard. You know, the second half of last season, Lingard enjoyed a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. And earlier on this season, it mentioned that Lingard was interested in going abroad. Lingard doesn't really get in the team, does he? But he has been part of Manchester United for a long time, you know, risen up our academy and that, and he's had his good periods at Man United, he's had his bad periods as well. Lingard's current contract expires next summer. Juan Mata, I think he's also leaving next year. Mata's contract at Man United expires next summer. Because revert back to earlier on in the year, Juan Mata signed a 1-year contract extension. Can't understand why we extended his contracts for the further year, because Juan Mata doesn't really get in the team, plus he's lost that yard of pace and he's aging up. But despite all of that, Mata's had a good career at Man United. You know, he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions and he's scored over 50 goals. And he's been at Manchester United for 8 years, so reflecting on that, he's been a long-serving player. Man United got Juan Mata from Chelsea back in 2014 for around 40 million, brought him in under the David Moyes era. Manchester United could sell Paul Pogba next month. Well, Rangnick did say not so long ago that he will not try to convince Paul Pogba to stay at Man United if he wants to go. Pogba's current contract at the club expires in the summer. Revert back to the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract offer. Pogba is not available at the moment as he's out with a thigh injury. He's been out with his thigh injury for a while. He picked up the thigh injury in France training earlier on in the season. Pogba is out for the rest of the year. Pogba has been stepping up his recovery though. He come back from Dubai not so long ago. I think Man United could offload Matic next year as well. I've always had my reservations about Matic because he's always been a static midfielder. Plus he's aging up. But he has had his good games at United, and Matic isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that he still seems to get his chances. He's the only predominant centre defensive mid we've got. Manchester United got Matic from Chelsea back in 2017 for around 40 million. Jones and Bailly, I think they'll be leaving next year. And of course, you know, of course, you know the news on Dean Henderson. Fabrizio Romano said not so long ago that Dean Henderson wants to leave Manchester United in January to get more game time. You know, Henderson has only made 2 appearances this season. He doesn't really get in goal much because last summer De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Earlier on this season, Henderson was out with COVID for a while. Towards the end of last season though, Henderson got that number 1 jersey and he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. And let me put into the equation that Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury and that. You know, could Alex Tellez also leave the club next year? I can assure at the end of the season that Manchester United will get a permanent manager. Now, Ruben Amorim has been mentioned a lot recently. He said Manchester United and Leeds are in for him. Now, Ruben Amorim has a £25 million release clause. He's currently the manager of Sporting Lisbon. He's been Sporting Lisbon manager for almost 2 years and he's got a contract with Sporting Lisbon until 2023. He has won a few trophies with Sporting Lisbon. Before Sporting Lisbon he managed Braga and before Braga he managed Casapia. He's a very young coach, is Ruben Amorim. He's only 36 years of age. Not so long ago, Amorim advised Manchester United to hire Erik ten Hag. Obviously, Erik ten Hag has been linked with a permanent role at Man United. I presume there's a lot of United fans that would take Erik ten Hag. You've got to admire the work he's done at Ajax. He's been at Ajax for around 4 years now. He's got a contract with Ajax till 2023. The other week, Edwin van der Sar spoke about Manchester United's interest in Erik ten Hag. Revert back to the other week, Roberto Mancini got mentioned. Earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers was also linked with a permanent role at Man United, but I initially disregarded Brendan Rodgers because earlier on in the season, Brendan Rodgers dismissed links to the Man United job. You know, Rodgers came out and said that I'm proud to be at Leicester, but at one point he did say that Rodgers was house hunting in Cheshire, and that stirred some suggestions up. At that point he said Rodgers was the favourite to replace Solskjaer. And Mauricio Pochettino has been persistently linked with a permanent job at Man United. Well, we'll go back to earlier on this season. Pochettino came out and said a few times that he's happy at PSG. And he did mention that he won't let the Man United rumours distract him. Don't forget, he said earlier on in the season, Manchester United made an approach for Pochettino, but PSG rejected Manchester United's approach. But there was reports circulating out saying that Pochettino is interested in the Manchester United job. And he said Manchester United agreed to pay the 10 million compensation fee for Pochettino. Revert back to when Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho in December 2018. That's when Manchester United should have got Pochettino, but the club decided to go with Solskjaer instead. I do think Pochettino's a good manager, even though he's hardly won anything. I think he has won a French Cup at PSG. He's got a full season left on his PSG contract. He's proven in the Premier League as well, which is beneficial because before Pochettino managed Tottenham, he endured 5.5 years at Tottenham. Don't forget, he almost won the league at Tottenham, and he guided Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final back in 2018. He managed Southampton before. He only endured a short tenure at Southampton, but he still managed to guide Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League. So there you go. But Manchester United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. Man United sacked Moyes after 10 months. Then Manchester United sacked Van Gaal after 2 years. Manchester United won the FA Cup under Van Gaal. Then Manchester United sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years. Mourinho did enjoy one good season at Man United because he did win 3 trophies in his first season. The 3 trophies he won was the Community Shield, the Europa League and the EFL Cup. And a month ago now, Manchester United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer was in charge of Man United for almost 3 years. Manchester United officially sacked Solskjaer after the 4-1 defeat to Watford. Now, yesterday, Premier League clubs and EFL clubs rejected the idea of postponing Christmas games despite COVID. Obviously, the Premier League had a meeting yesterday. A lot of games have been postponed recently. Manchester United have had the last 2 games postponed because of COVID. Manchester United's game against Brentford got postponed the other week. And Manchester United's game against Brighton last weekend got postponed. Manchester United's next game is Newcastle on the 27th of December. I am now expecting that game to go ahead. If Manchester United do beat Newcastle, that will be 4 wins in a row in the Premier League. Obviously, the last game Manchester United played was Norwich. Manchester United won 1-0. Cristiano Ronaldo scored the winning goal from the penalty spot. Ronaldo won the penalty as he got dragged down by Max Aarons. Ronaldo now has 13 goals in all competitions since he re-signed. And Ronaldo's got 802 goals in his career. But I am expecting Manchester United to beat Newcastle comfortably. Newcastle are a very, very poor team. I can assure that Newcastle will be getting relegated this season. Newcastle recently lost 4-0 to Man City. Back in October, Newcastle had that £300 million takeover by the Saudi Arabians. Obviously, Newcastle are planning to heavily invest next year after that takeover. Before the Saudi Arabians, Newcastle had Mike Ashley. Mike Ashley was Newcastle's owner for around 13 years and Mike Ashley was heavily criticised. Newcastle's manager is Eddie Howe. Newcastle appointed Eddie Howe in earlier on in the season to replace Steve Bruce. When Eddie Howe got appointed in, he signed a 2.5-year contract with Newcastle. Before Newcastle, Eddie Howe managed Bournemouth. He was at Bournemouth for a long time, and he also had a spell with Burnley. So yeah, before Eddie Howe, Newcastle had Steve Bruce. Obviously, he got sacked earlier on in the season. Before that, Newcastle had Rafa Benitez. Rafa Benitez did resign because he didn't get enough backing. A lot of Newcastle fans were disappointed when Rafa Benitez left. Newcastle were actually quite consistent when they had Rafa Benitez. By the way, Newcastle have got some players missing for the game on the 27th. Isaac Hayden, he's suspended after I think he received a 5th yellow card. Paul Dummett, he's out with injury. John Joe Shelvey has got an injury. Manquillo, he's got illness. Federico Fernandez has got injury. Jamal Lewis is out with injury. And I think that's it. But like I say, I do know quite a few of Newcastle's players. Obviously, they've got Dwight Gale, he's one of their attacking players. Joelinton, he's one of their attacking players. They've also got Alan St. Maximin. He's probably Newcastle's best player. He's just come back from injury not so long ago. Newcastle have also got Callum Wilson, who's a former Bournemouth player. They've also got Ryan Fraser, who's a former Bournemouth player. Newcastle have also got Sean Longstaff. He's brothers with Matty Longstaff. Matty Longstaff is out on loan with Aberdeen at the moment. Newcastle have also got Jacob Murphy and Elliot Anderson. They've also got John Joe Shelvey. Like I said, John Joe Shelvey is a former Liverpool and Swansea player. They've got Isaac Hayden. They've also got Matt Ritchie, Kieran Clark, Joseph Willock, Jeff Henrick, Almiron. They've also got him. Like I said, they've got Jamal Lewis. I think they got Jamal Lewis from Norwich. Paul Dummett. So there you go. Newcastle's goalkeepers have got Carl Darlow. They've got another goalkeeper called Dubravka. Is Dubravka now Newcastle's number one choice, or is it Carl Darlow that's Newcastle's number one choice? I'm not too sure. Manchester United have got a good record against Newcastle. Manchester United seldom lose to Newcastle. Manchester United won this fixture last season at St James's Park 4-1. And Man United beat Newcastle earlier on in the season at Old Trafford 4-1. That was a game when Ronaldo scored twice on his second debut. Man United have got players missing at the moment. Obviously, like I said, Martial has got a minor injury. Varane is still out, but there's a good chance Varane will be available for this game against Newcastle, because it did say if the game against Brighton last weekend would have gone ahead, that Varane could have made his return. Cavani's still out, but I'm expecting him to be available for Newcastle. Pogba's still out. Lindelof, he's got a chest injury. He obviously had to come off against Norwich with that chest injury. And they're the injuries Man United have got. Obviously, Matic has been out with a cold, and Juan Mata has had illness. After Newcastle, Manchester United do play Burnley. That's on the 30th of December. Then after that, it's Wolves. That's next year. Then obviously Villa in the Cup after that. You know, Man United have got winnable games coming up. By the way, like I updated you yesterday, Sky Sports News said that Manchester United are close to appointing Richard Arnold as the new chief executive to replace Ed Woodward. He should be announced, Richard Arnold, very, very soon. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.